thank you. So, my wife and partner of the last 40+ years, Mr. Cummings, to the chairman of the collaborating political party, Mr. Musa Hassan Belege, and to all other platform guests, all other protocols observed. My fellow Liberians, things in our country are only getting worse. Hardship is everywhere. In President Weah's 6 years, we have seen prices of food, gasoline, and fuel go up. We have seen rice shortages and high joblessness, especially for our young people. From preventable diseases such as diarrhea, malaria, as well as maternal and infant mortality. We have seen rape, including of children and babies, go up, and rapists get away with impunity. We have seen classrooms without teaching materials and students without books or could not afford to buy them. Meanwhile, the country was rocked by reports of the missing 12 billion Liberian dollars newly printed money and the unaccountable 25 million US dollars for backup of excess Liberian dollars. In the meantime, President Weah and his officials have been getting rich as Liberians have gotten poor. They have failed to declare their assets as required by law. Anyone traveling by road to Maryland, Lofa, Sino, Riverstairs, Grand Crew, or River Chief from Monrovia, like I have done, will be heartbroken by the extent of the poverty and neglect of our country by its leaders. The roads are literally a graveyard of broken down vehicles. Passengers are stranded for days on the road without food. In my travels to the rest of our country, I found the same level of poverty and neglect, even in counties considered to be better off. People are living in such hardships, and it is they who own Liberia and not our so-called leaders. I have spoken on over and over against this sad situation for our country. I've also spoken time corruption, stealing, and mismanagement of our government, the lawlessness, mysterious deaths, and murders of human rights in our country. Today, things continue to get worse. Liberians have grown disappointed with the hardship, and friends of Liberia who are trying to help have given up on President Weah and his government. The stealing and corruption by the Weah administration have become so bad that our international partners are no longer just laughing at our country, but they are now seriously worried and scared about giving money to the government for the benefit of the Liberian people. Recently, the United States ambassador to Liberia told the world about the suffering and neglect of the Liberian people that he saw when he visited our counties. Hospitals are not receiving any of the 100 United States dollars appropriated in 2022 for their operations. He said the blocking of resources to hospitals is so complete that it must be due to the existence of a syndicate involving players at the legislature, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs. As I speak today, our election in October is uncertain because of the lack of money. Government may not pay civil servants. Unfortunately, the hard times will likely get harder. We have some difficult days ahead of our nation. And even worse, we have a president who does not know what to do and does not care that too many Liberians are suffering. He is about to leave the country again for another wasteful travel abroad in the face of the financial mess he and his friends have worsened for our country. We see corruption in all sectors of government. Officials who have oversight duty, including the legislature, are failing to exercise their responsibility. Those who should be stopping drug trafficking are the ones facilitating and protecting those bringing drugs into our country and selling it in our communities. Some of the new drugs are so dangerous that our youth have begun to die from its use. President Weah does not care. County service centers were established as initial steps towards decentralization and bringing government services, such as issuing birth and marriage certificates and vehicle registrations and driver licenses, to the people who live outside Monrovia. The centers have been supplied solar-powered electricity at the cost of about $40,000 each by the UNDP. Most of them, however, are not working. Allocation of only about $13,000 US. Yet, the Liberian Revenue Authority reported that it has collected more money than in the past 4 years. It said from $436 million in 2019, it has collected $605 million in 2022. The government also says that the Liberian economy grew by 3.7% in 2022. So where is the money going? Who is benefiting from the so-called growth while our people are suffering? We know that the President, Vice President, Speaker, Senate Pro Tem, and Deputy Speaker, only 5 people get more money from the budget than money given to public schools and hospitals. If there is any growth in the Liberian economy, as the government likes to say, it must be in the bellies of corrupt government officials, while the ordinary citizens go hungry and continue to suffer. If President Weah had any shame and respect for the office of president, he would tell the Liberian people sorry. He would sack the ministers who are responsible for the wickedness against our people, and the president himself would resign. It is one thing to have me talk about the stealing in government, the neglect and suffering of our people, and the irresponsible behavior of our government. But it is very shameful and embarrassing for the presidency and for our entire country for strangers to tell us how rotten, corrupt, and irresponsible the Liberian government is under the leadership of President George Weah. We all know by now that President Weah will do nothing about what the American ambassador has said and reported from what he saw. He will not do anything because we know that a fish gets rotten from the head. For the government to be rotten, the head must first be rotten. When someone here burns, you don't ask about the beer. President Weah is running Liberia like an irresponsible father who spends his pay on liquor only to beg his neighbors to feed his family, pay his rent, and children's school fees. The American taxpayers are spending around $60 million a year on health care in Liberia, and another $23 million. Our schools are being abandoned to faith-based institutions to run with little to no support from the government. Other development partners are helping to carry our country and even to pay government workers, while our leaders are stealing, partying, and traveling abroad to bluff with the country's wealth that they have stolen. Leadership matters, my people. Leadership matters. This is why a wasteful and irresponsible leader cannot be expected to run a responsible government. That a divisive leader cannot unite a nation. A decisive person who will compromise principles only to win must not be allowed to lead us. We will not get out of our difficulties by compromising values and looking for easy wins and shortcuts. Doing the same things over and over will only give us the same bad results. The truth is that Liberia is not poor. We are blessed to have a lot of natural resources. But our people are living in these bad and neglected conditions because our leaders are mostly irresponsible, careless, divisive, and wicked. They still will be. How else can we explain that Liberia is so rich for Liberians to be so poor? And too many families are without the basic necessities of life. After more than 175 years, how else can we explain that with rainfall and fertile soil, we still cannot feed ourselves, so that the president's personal bodyguards get more in the national budget than is given for agriculture? How else can we explain that even with a road fund, most of the major unpaved roads, including from Monrovia to Lofa, Grand Gide, Sino, Grand Cru, Maryland, and Riverside, which could be improved with only $500,000 United States dollars allocation each year for actual maintenance, are not passable for most of the year. No government that cares will enjoy seeing their citizens sleep in the mud and dirt along this road for days, if not for weeks. We have to do better, my people. We have to do better. And to do better, we have to make tough choices and hard decisions. A wise old man told me that when hunger is taking over a village, to give the only cutlets to one's grandfather and the oldest man in the village, to go make a farm because he has experience in making farms, is to agree to let the village people die from starvation. For things to really change in our country, we must not just change change ruling parties. We must change ruling principles. We need to stop treating our country like it is elephant meat, that we can take turns to cut our own. For our people's lives to get better, it is not going to be enough just to change individuals in October. We must elect people with a different mindset about what government is supposed to do and what leaders are supposed to be. Government is not a stealing business, and leaders do not have to be hustlers. Government is to make people's lives better. Leaders are supposed to set and live by higher standards. Without this new mindset, no matter who we change, things will remain the same. I'm often criticized for not having government experience. Well, if government experience is to steal from the people and neglect them to suffer, then thank God I don't have government experience. I'm often criticized for not having government experience. Well, if government experience is to steal from the people and neglect them to suffer, then thank God I don't have government experience. My experience is one of leadership in fixing things. My experience is in fixing systems, so that things work better for all to enjoy. I have no government experience in trying to benefit from corrupt and broken down systems. My experience is one of leadership. The values of hard work, integrity, and honesty, and in keeping promises I make. My experience is one of leadership in doing the right things the right way and not sacrificing my values and principles just to win. In life, when we try to take shortcuts to success, compromise our values, and believe we do not need to work hard and honestly for what we want, too often we will not get the success we seek or the things we want. When we let ourselves fall for everything, it means we actually stand for nothing. Leaders must stand for something. Like everyone else, I want to win. But I prefer to lose while fighting for real change than to win only to keep things as corruptly and wickedly as they are. Like everyone else, I want to win. But I prefer to lose while fighting for real change than win only to keep things as corruptly and wickedly as they are. In our country, when small people steal, they go to jail. But when big people steal, they go free. When small people commit crime, they get punished. But when big people commit the same crime, they get promoted. This is wrong. And it is why year in and year out, the story of our country, official stealing, and ordinary people suffering cannot change. We have to stop this. We have to stop this. My promise to you, I will lead us with your help and support to stop this nonsense. A Cummings administration will not just fight corruption, we will fix and build the economy. We will not just cook up numbers to say the economy is growing while people pay are being cut, while there are no jobs and children go to bed hungry. We will actually grow the budget and pay people well and on time. We will create jobs, decent paying jobs, to restore people's respect and dignity in their homes and communities. We will provide opportunities for all Liberians to live better lives and to care for their families. This is my area. I have done it all of my professional life. In a Cummings administration, Liberian businesses will succeed. We will protect Liberian businesses, especially Liberian women businesses, and provide them the means they will need to grow. From waiter markets, Liberians must grow to own and operate shops. And from shops, Liberians must grow to own stores. I want to see store boys becoming store owners. I want to see Yana boys become business tycoons. I want to see girls making it, daring to dream, and working to live their dreams, and not being broken by restrictions wrongly imposed on them by the unfair system. This too is the Liberia we must become. A Liberia that will not be ashamed to help Liberians fairly and honestly succeed. By the way, growing businesses and making people succeed is also my area. We will work to unite our people, feed ourselves, and improve our health and educational systems. Again, these are not empty political promises. We will do what we say we will do. We will do what we say we will do. Yes, we will ask our international partners for help. But before we go asking others to help us, we will responsibly and inclusively use and manage what God has blessed us to have, especially our best human resources, regardless of tribe, gender, religion, or party affiliation. My people, the next 6 years is not for play. The next 6 years is not the time to take risks with our lives. It is not going to be time for big shot business. The whole of our country is already too deep. To climb ourselves out of this hole, we will need all the energies and capacities of our nation. Liberians will have to work hard, work smart, and work for long hours. And I'm prepared to set the example. Let me be as clear as I can be. I am asking the Liberian people for the chance to lead our country, not because I'm looking for a political job. Together and with your help, I want to lead us to change the corrupt poor. Finally, my people, poverty is not Liberia's destiny. Our government does not have to be so rotten, careless, and irresponsible. Officials do not have to care only about buttering their own bread, while many of our people cannot even buy kobo. It is a shame under a Cummings presidency, anyone found to have stolen from the people, we will prosecute you. And if found guilty, you will pay back and with each other. We who want to move our country forward and not backward must work together for the change our country so desperately needs. We can, and together, should chart a new path, not just to win the election, but more importantly, to fix our country. Today, as always, I open my arms and the CPP to everyone looking to work for real change in our chapter for our country's future. If not us, then who? If not now, then when? And so, my people, don't ask if Cummings can win. Ask if you are ready. Ask if you are ready for real change. Because if you are ready to change Liberia, as I am ready to do, I promise you that together we will win. We will win massively together. And we will lead differently. Our winning coalition will not just be of parties. It will be for the good of the country. We will change our country and improve the living conditions of our people. At the end of this press statement, the American ambassador asked, "Is this the best?" Always said, Liberia deserves better. And so I say, no, Mr. Ambassador. Liberia has much more to offer. The best for our country is yet to come. No, Mr. Ambassador, Liberia has much more to offer. The best of our country is yet to come. Under a Cummings leadership, the hopelessness you see today will change to hopefulness in a new Liberia. The neglected Liberians you see today will be the empowered Liberians of tomorrow. The suffering prosperous tomorrow. Liberia will rise. Our country will shine. A united people will march forward to proudly claim a prosperous, secure, just, and bright future for ourselves and for our children. Real change is coming, my people. Real change is coming. The long night of darkness is about to end. A new daybreak is upon our country. God is on our side. Liberia deserves better. Liberians deserve better. God bless you. God bless Nigeria. And thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your attention. That ends the press conference. Thank you very much for coming, and wish you safe drive.
So we have been broadcasting live. We have been coming to you live from the headquarters of the collaborative political party. Right here in Native Street. Come over Liberia, and you are indeed watching Providence Television. And as you heard earlier, was the boss of the collaborative political party's chair of the state of Liberia, Mr. Alexander Benedict Cummings. So that's in the press statement right here at the headquarters of the collaborative political parties. And we very shortly we're going to be getting the views of some citizens who have come to this occasion.
Okay, so we have 3 months to the election, the constitution and the election. Where did you say? Well, in all nationally, I think from all of my assessment, maybe the different political activities across the country, I've been cutting cross-bound, trying to assess and consult with my people. And definitely where we are going the Alexander Cummings way.
One
of your statements in the terms of this
This is Boakai County former Senator Henry Yala, addressing the press after the press statement.
Well, if you follow the history in Boakai, there are cliques of leadership that have always fought the indigenous children of the place. And it happens in 2020 with my elections. There were higher ups that were fighting our return to the capital only because they believed we would have been the stopping block for 2029. And that's still ongoing in the county. It is now trying to go after Olukafia, and I support Olukafia with everything I have. And so I was speaking in one of my bases in Kwaipa when I have gathered my citizens to consult them on the Cummings agenda. And in that place, I told them to support Olukafia. And I sent a caveat to anybody who tempers with this process 2023 in Boakai County will temper with your seat.
I'm
seeing on Johnny Weah. I'm sure that he will be referring to. No. Okay, so one of the strongest contenders that is I was never referring to a contender. I don't even know Johnny Weah has never met him. I've always said that publicly. I have respect for all of those who expiring in the county. It's a Liberian. Whatever way, if our people decide to elect him, I think we all work for the benefit of our county. I was speaking to a seated leader. Who are those? Maybe I was talking to Senator Taylor. She needs to back up. Yeah, she needs to back up for chasing young people in the county. And that's quite clear. It happens in my case. When I was contesting 2020, she was leading a campaign to ensure that I don't return. And she's still leading that campaign to ensure that Olukafia does not come. So I was telling her, if she continues that, will ensure that she will not return to the capital.
Speak, Honorable! Speak, Honorable! They're waiting for you, Honorable, they're waiting for you. They're fire, So that was Mr. Henry W. Yala. Henry Yala Henry Yala is the former senator of Boakai County, was succeeded by Senator Prince Kamabwe.
He has underperformed, he has disappointed.